Now that you're here,
One,
we got a real treat
two.
for you.
I met her in a club down in Old Soho, where you drink champagne and it tastes just like Coca-Cola. C-O-L-A Cola. She walked up to me and she asked me to dance, and I asked her her name, and in a dark brown voice she said Lola. L-O-L-A Lola. La 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 Lola.
As the people from the Kinks say, it's a mixed up, muddled up, shook up world out there. And for an old chestnut from Norfolk County to figure it all out from a pool shed in Pine Grove, Ontario, it's not an easy task. But week after week, we come back to this shed, we drink a bunch of alcohol, now we smoke weed.
It's legal.
Yeah. It's been a great addition to the show.
It's delicious.
But, you know, this is the fifth last time we're going to do it here in this shed.
5 times.
And what the weather gods did was bring in a snowstorm.
They challenged us.
But it didn't beat us, Michael. It didn't beat us at all.
Nothing will.
We got guests. They're on their way. They're down the snowy roads as we speak. But we're going to get this show started for you people. But there's only one way to do it.
How's that, Peter?
It's with the little thing we call the theme song. Everybody live from the Dutch Hall.
All right.
We are Canada's only late night talk show. And yeah, I said only, Joe Rylett. I don't know if you're listening this time, but you said one time. Only? Yeah, the only.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got a problem, Frankie Angelo?
Suck it.
Come on, take it up with me.
We're not scared.
We're Canada's only late night talk show and the greatest podcast ever come out of a pool shed in Pine Grove, Ontario. Bar none. Because we have the greatest band in Canadian late night history, the Nocturnal Emissions, comprised this week of the best of the best. Our band leader on vocals and rhythm, that's Michael Bow, everyone.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen, how you doing out there?
In the middle sporting is November Duster.
Oh, baby.
But it could be just an all-round Tyler Shazma, year-round duster. I don't know what kind it is. We still have to find out. He's our favorite new toy of the Nocturnal Emissions. Braden DeCuman, everyone.
Yeah, Brandon. Yeah.
And in the corner, just doing it all. Backup vocals, if you noticed. You know, what is that? Some lead guitar? What is that? Does he do construction work? Huh? He'll do it all. He's
got a lot of callus on his hands over there.
I think that's a callus, not from guitar. That's from like lifting or something. Steve's the Reluctant German, everyone. Hey. And right where he belongs. I like to look directly at him during the show because it gives me inspiration to say, I'm going to be a man tonight. I'm going to man up. I'm going to be like Wes Hagens, everyone. Whiskey Wes Hagens. The balls of the Nocturnal Emissions. You're never supposed to say the name in the middle. And who's that on the skins over there in the corner? That's our CRTC requires Frenchman, the French tickler, ladies. Kev Boulanger. He's single. And you know what? This guy just popped in because everybody else was snowed in. You know what you have to do? You got to call on a good old friend of the show to come in. Number one, bring you some quality weed. I don't know if that's supposed to be public knowledge, but I'm going to come out and say it. I haven't had it in so long. This fella found it and gave it to me, and I enjoyed it. And he's directing in Paul's place tonight. This is our good friend, Derek the Beaver Van Houten, everyone. And me, I'm the host of this program, and two-time President's Club Award winner, everyone, Pete Van Dyke. You got at least applause from me at the end. Oh, that was a great opening.
All right. Hell yeah.
You know, welcome everyone live from the Dutch Hall. As we were alluding to in the opening, we do have a weather issue. We are getting our first snowstorm of 2018-19 winter season.
Winter season, correct.
See the snow go slow.
Oh,
Hello there. People of Earth, how are you?
beat the snow again.
Power's gone.
You're like if it was like if you were the snowstorm. And then it would warn you as it fell. It's like Google Snow or something. They like put a chip into it.
I'm coming for you.
Yeah. Be careful. It's going to take you longer to stop. They're just like shouting at you as they're falling.
I wish they would have done that to people.
You might want to put your boots on. Right? It would just be like, oh.
Whoa.
It's total government controlled
Sorry.
snow.
Right.
By the way, I want to show this to people while I'm feeling bold. You know what this is? Where is this? That's a check, people. That's a check. I'm not going to show you my information, but that's cash money, man. That's cheddar. That's the cheese, man. You feeling good about it, Michael?
I feel great about it.
You know what this is from? This is from Amazon, right? That's
No
from that
way.
bald motherfucker. We stole it from that bald motherfucker. Is he bald? Why am I baldest? I'm baldest.
Yeah. Nothing wrong
You know
with
what?
that.
Did he sign that check?
Wait, who's supposed to sign it? Bezos?
Does Bezos sign that check?
No, I don't think. I'd probably be like that.
Like computer generated?
It looks like Cat H. Zolt.
The old Zolt the lightning bolt. That old fucking chestnut.
Zolt the lightning bolt from Amazon. No, I don't know. I can't read it. It's a signature, like a scribble.
Yeah.
It's a lightning bolt.
But anyways, the cash is but it's a $112.45.
Man.
Thank you to everybody that made that happen. Because you know what we're going to do with this money? I'm just going to basically put it into pennies and spread it all over my chest. Show my wife my riches at night.
Scrooge McDuck style.
Yeah.
Make love over a bunch of pennies.
Yeah, she'll like it. She knows I can bring in money. I show my worth to her, as a man.
Oh yeah.
Look at me.
Feel my pennies.
Yes, I get drunk and talk about dicks with my friends, and they gave me $100. Fuck everyone. I figured it out.
108, 109, 110,
Yeah.
11.
Yes, that's it. It's all it is.
$1 at a time.
One dick joke at a time is what. That was one of our slogans for our early program. Do you remember that, people?
Yep.
I mean, it was called "We're Changing the World One Dick Joke at a Time." I mean, we want to go back to that one. That was a good one.
This is
And
the truth.
and we should put it into it. Each dick joke costs $1. You fuckers, right? Like that, and then people would be like, "Oh man, I like this show, man. I don't want to upset Pete." So I'm gonna go to PayPal on the website and just give this guy some money.
Or turn off your ad blockers.
Yeah, or turn off your ad blockers and go buy something from Amazon. But you know what? We're doing all the ads right off the hop. This is weird. It's like we're professional or something like that. We haven't sold out yet, people. We're gonna sell out in 5 shows.
5 shows.
Full sellout.
Full fucking sellout in 5 weeks.
We need to.
Yes, I'm gonna come out in a 3-piece suit. And I'm mostly going to tell jokes about the weather, how crazy it is, right?
It'll get you.
And I'm going to tell jokes about, I'm going to do some light government jokes, not more middle of the road so I don't offend either side, you know? But one's like, doesn't that guy look like he's a bit stressed out? Must be a hard job, you know? Just real nice. Please the whole country, right? Please the whole country.
Yeah, that
This show
sounds
is going to
like
be,
you.
what?
That sounds like you.
Well, I don't want to swear in a church, you know.
Oh.
That's the main thing, is that we don't swear in a church, because I haven't done it yet. You know, I've injured myself every day on the job with my trusty companion, my only helper,
Who's that?
Steve the Reluctant German.
Oh.
Steve.
Now, I want to get this out of the way while I'm still thinking about it. We have lots of things on our list to check off, and we will do it in the next hour.
Excellent.
But I'm expecting 3 comics to come at any time and derail us. They're coming down the road.
Yes.
We're
And-
prepared.
Lori, I'm going to apologize to you for that one, but that was a little burp. Did you hear that one?
Yeah, just a mini.
It was a. That's all it was.
It's
It's
like
a
a wind.
swoosh. It was a swoosh. I don't know if I should really apologize for that one, Laurie, but I'm going to do it just out of tradition. Anyways, I'm telling you that these comics are coming anytime, but we have some business to get to. One of them is I want to talk to Steve about our workplace incident today. Now, every day, pretty much, that we have worked together, I have injured myself in
Was it
some way.
sexual harassment?
Yes.
Let's get that straight.
No, not.
Yeah, no.
If at Spiky Ball Studios we had a sign on the wall saying it has been so many days since our last workplace accident,
Yeah.
it's always stayed at 0.
Yes.
It's never changed to 1, right? And that's been my whole life. You look at me, and I was in a walker when I was like a few months old, and I have Band-Aids all over my face, right?
Crazy.
Because I'm in a walker, one of those green walkers in a tool shed. I hit the disc or whatever. No, I don't know what happened. That's terrible. I like to pretend I hit the disc. But my dad's probably in there. It was the you spring tooth, you fucking retard.
Get it right.
You ran into the spring tooth?
No, I don't know what happened. I'm just saying I was a baby.
He's just
So
not
I
sure what implemented.
This is
Yeah.
this is I made up a whole story in my head based on one Polaroid picture of me, or like one like Rosalie's developed picture with the 2 little pictures on the side of me in a walker in the tool shed with Band-Aids all over my face. I'm like, I probably ate shit one time in that tool shed because you're not supposed to be going around. I know what my dad is with tools. When he's finished with a tool, he drops it on the ground. Right? You wipe out on a walker, you're gonna get a 9/16 wrench in the face.
Maybe up your ass.
Maybe even 5. Oh yeah, right in your.
Could be 5/8.
Luckily, I had the diaper on. Saved me a lot of trouble. Maybe I'll keep this thing on even after I know how to use that toilet,
Ah, that's why.
just
They,
for protection.
that's why they put them on later in life.
Yeah. Wait, are you suggesting that old people fall on tools a lot?
Sure, and then they're safe.
Yeah, so they don't get impaled by it, eh?
Right.
Probably got looser assholes too.
And they also can just piss themselves. That's convenient.
You know, I totally get the point. You know what? I'm 45. You know, I should be a lot healthier than I am, but I'm not. But lately, my pee for the pee. You know, like I realize my age because of my pee. Like it's not that I can just go pee anymore. It's a thing. You think about it, right?
Really?
Yeah, and you think you're done. You're not done. If you put that thing in your pants after, you have to wait for like 15 minutes just staring into the abyss
So
with
it
your
doesn't
dick
look
out,
like you piss yourself after.
shaking it, milking it, whatever you got to do to get the last drop out of that fucking thing, and then you put it in your jeans, and sure as shit, it leaks out a full dick's worth of piss. Right?
I think I'm at the beginning of that. in my life.
Caution is always taken.
I have done everything I can, and even like you feel like you got to piss like a racehorse, like I'm like I really got to pee bad, and I go outside and I whip the dick out. I like to pee outside, eh?
Who doesn't?
Oh, it's nature's way.
Oh,
I've killed so much of my own grass, and I'm always like, why is that grass dead? I'm like, oh yeah.
I always find like when you get home from like driving
I killed
home
it
from
all
somewhere,
over
you
here.
gotta piss right away.
I shouldn't say I killed this grass. You guys all
Oh, yeah.
collectively over the last 5 years have killed this grass right by the Dutch Hall with your urine. Sorry, Michael, I interrupted. What were you saying?
No, it's okay. I always find when you drive home from somewhere, because I had a hard time when I lived in the great town of Delhi, not pissing outside because I had
Because you had neighbors too close?
It was the thing that was the hardest thing for me. Because like I'll get home now, like say tonight I go home, first thing you do, have a
Right
nice
in the
piss.
driveway.
Right in the
Yeah,
driveway.
Why not?
You know why? You're not bothering anybody when you're going inside. You're not turning any lights on, making any noise.
Yep.
Right in bed, quiet. Everybody's happy,
Yeah.
and I'm happy as well.
I like your
Yeah,
system.
I-
That's the same way.
I was driving home with my daughter just yesterday, and we both had to pee on the way home. We're like, boy, I got to pee. And I'm like, oh, I have to pee too. And then we're calling which bathroom we're going to use, right? So I go, I'll use the, which one do you want? And she goes, I'll take my my bathroom, the hallway bathroom. And I said, I'll take the powder room. And I'm like, what am I thinking? I'm going to piss in the driveway. Like, I can just stand outside and do it.
Yeah.
I go, you can have any one you want. I'm going to go outside and pee. Like, I'm a grown man.
Exactly.
I'm a man of the earth. Like, I swear to God, I used to drive home from work, get to my driveway, like, and the first thing I do, get out of my car, piss outside, and then go inside.
There you go.
Always.
Always.
Because it's my preference to piss outside.
And we
Like
were
a
raised
dog
on
or a
it.
cat.
It's
We
natural.
were raised on it, yeah.
Like a cat. I had a cat, and it went outside to pee and shit, and it was awesome. You didn't have to clean the litter box ever. Right now, I got a cat. It keeps inside. He shits in the litter box. I'm like, I don't want to shit in the litter box. A toilet's gross compared to outside. Piss on a tree. You ever shit on a fallen tree? You ever shit on a fallen tree? It's fucking great.
It's great.
I'm pretty sure I have actually.
Oh yeah. There's nothing better than shitting on a fallen tree and then
gotta
like
be a
going and
fallen
take your
tree.
buddy and saying, "You want to see my shit?" It's like it's like that Stand By Me where you go, you want to see a dead body, right? And you go on an adventure into the forest to go find your shit. And you're like, "Oh, I can see a mound of toilet paper over there." And you go over there and it's like a monster. It looks like a bear shit. It's like, no, I did that one. I was like,
corn in it.
I held it for
Stand
like
By Me
3 days. I was
reference.
hoping not to shit on this trip, right? But then you let it go and it's like, holy crap, do we have corn on the cob?
3 days ago.
I even forgot eating the corn, man. I eat that on the drive down.
Fuck, no wonder Charters is so fucked. He had to follow you go look at your shits all the time.
You think I scarred him with all that stuff?
Yeah, I think you might have.
You know, I did. This is one thing I did that I don't think is quite common, but I was able to do it for my friends, and I always thought it was a good friend move. But you tell me if you agree, Michael, because you have such strong opinions all of a sudden. I think we might have found our grudge match, but I do have grudges with everybody.
Okay.
So we're gonna get into that in a bit.
Right.
That's our. If these comics don't come, it's our main meat of the program.
Yep.
If the comics show up, then
the
we
wins.
have to close with it. We have to close with it.
Okay.
Okay. We have to get it to it either way. It's the Dutch Hall grudge match because you will notice that Dave Charles is not here, and it has to be addressed because this was supposed to be fight night. Tonight was supposed to be fight night, and we were going to play. We were getting ready. We had a week where we were even putting forward songs that were quite difficult to learn the lyrics to.
That's right.
I mean, and we had a guy step up to the plate to do it, and then all of a sudden we build. I actually write these programs. You don't think I do? I actually do it. Not word for word, but you have to think and plan throughout the work week. What am I going to do this podcast about? So in the back of your mind, there's like a train that's always thinking about what the fuck am I going to talk about. This one was easy. I had the commitment of all my team to come here and do the show. Charters knows he's integral into this. Actually, he came over to my house. Did you know that? He popped into my house.
I did know because I saw him later on that day.
And he wrote to write a song. And then, because he dropped his wife off at your lovely fiance's shower.
Mm-hmm. Correct.
And then he came over here, and then he was talking about, you know what? I told him about the Steve issue. He said, I listened to the show. And he goes, you know what? I think this will be good for the program. Let's really really flesh this out.
Oh.
And let's like build it up, like make a real. It's kind of like a soap opera. It's like people's stories, people that are into Live from the Dutch Hall that listen every week or whatever. They enjoy the intricacies of our relationships in the building, in this room, right?
Within, yeah.
And so Charters, that was his point. And then I go, and I'm like, oh, okay. So then, like, that's great. You're in. And he's like, oh yeah, this is a good idea. And then he doesn't show up. And guess when he told us? You know when
Today?
Paul? You know when it was Paul's not here, right?
Right.
Paul also was a big brave guy at the end of last week, calling out Kev Belanger, saying that Kev Belanger has sabotaged his microphone.
Right.
Remember that?
Yes.
And then, and so Paul, I was prepared to have Paul and Kev work out their differences because I would like to smooth these things out amongst the nocturnal emissions, right?
Before we get to the church.
Calm the waters.
We got to get our shit together, people, man. When we get to the church, it's the big time. We're in Delhi,
Maybe
man.
fighting amongst each other.
It ain't fucking Pine Grove anymore. We're in the big time.
Big leagues.
You see this spiky ball on the top of this building?
Nope.
It means greatness. We have to be great. We can't just be this bullshit that we're doing now.
This shed's got no spiky ball.
No, this shed's just got a regular shingled roof. A roof. A roof and a couple leaf troughs. Holy shit.
That was me.
Oh,
Sorry.
thanks, Steve. Scared me.
I think it might have been his injury that got him.
Oh, thank you, Michael. You're the best. You know what? You know the business we're going to say we're going to do at the end? Pretty much done. Pretty much done. But we got a little bit more to do because that's 2 grudge matches now. 2 people have pushed out. Charters, number 1. And Paul gave us a week's notice. It was the point.
Okay.
Or Paul told us like early in the week.
Call the shot.
Charles tells us like noon today. Hey, you know what? Not feeling it today. Had a tough week. Oh, shit. Oh, no, I didn't see none of that. What is that? Let's just go check the 752. Fudgerama. That's number 2 in 5 years.
2 times.
750 and 2. Can we mark that? I'm just going to write that down. 750.
Erase that from your memory.
2.
We need those Men in Black things.
Yeah, I need a Men in Black thing for everyone. Get a 1 shot on me, Beef. Get a shot just on Pete here. I need to do this something. Okay, ready? Everyone that's watching this on YouTube, because you're the only.
Straight into your thumb.
Look into this thumb. All right. Okay, ready?
See ya.
Okay, don't. Charles was tired. Okay, remember what we was talking about? Charles was tired.
He loves his family or something.
Yeah, and he has no affiliation. He was a master of industry this week, and he was doing it in the greatest fashion because he likes to every once in a while show off how talented he is at his job, right?
Yep.
So what he was doing was he was achieving greatness in his industry, is what I'm trying to get at.
He's a leader.
A leader, and it tuckered him out. So he didn't show up. That's his story, official story. The truth is, people, is I believe that he is a chicken. Hey, we finally made
here
it.
we go.
The people have trudged through all kinds of conditions. Steve Giordat has arrived from Hamilton. Did you bring anyone with you, Steve?
Just trudging through the snow.
Oh, we'll get him in here. But anyways, we're gonna. So we were saying. So we have.
Hey, there they are.
There's Joe.
Hey.
Joe Botelho, everyone. Listen, we get to introduce. Hey, Steve. Nice to see you.
Whoa.
Sorry.
How you doing?
Yeah, we're on air
Yeah,
right now.
on
Yeah, we're going. No big deal.
It is cold. Close that door. Turn the furnace back on.
Is AJ here too? Yeah. Thanks, hey man. So we got 3 seats over there. So where we were at was there's 2 things. You reminded me of the one.
Steve's injury. We were
Steve's
over
injury.
Dave. Dave missed out, and the grudge matches were on.
I have to get the grudge match thing out of the way
Yeah.
while we're doing it.
Yep.
So
We were talking about your working partner earlier on.
yep, we're gonna we'll go right into that. So Steve,
Yeah, man.
you and Charters had it out last week. There's an obvious a bone to be or a gripe to be settled between the 2 of you.
Yeah, that's right.
He doesn't show up today, and so he is meant to be like he's obviously showed weakness to you.
Oh, yeah.
And this is not Help Matters.
No,
Now, has he reached out to you?
not at all. Nothing.
You have not had a word from Charters at all.
Not a Facebook thing. Not a text. No phone calls.
So what he's done is gone internet quiet, is what you would say. Internet quiet. Is
Radio
that right?
silence.
Radio silent. Is that what you call it?
Yeah.
And then, so he's obviously fears you. He's hiding something. There is something deep between you and Charters going on. We need to resolve this, right? This thing between Kevin and Paul. Kevin.
Hey.
AJ Bate, everyone. AJ Bate, everyone. Hey.
It's a full house.
So
today.
Yeah, it's nice. We got the full house.
we got to get filled in on this beef.
Okay, well, I got to tell you, that show that we prepped you on. See,
Yeah.
this is what we did. We had these guys come in. 3 people from Hamilton, Ontario. They trudged
Drove.
They trudged through the snow. They trudged through like road closures and treacherous conditions.
Dead babies in ditches.
Oh man, I heard there was
Brutal.
even some bear traps.
I had to sit in the car with Joe, and I don't know if you guys know this, but there's a lot of sexual tension.
Tons.
Between you and Joe?
No, just between Joe and my asshole. I don't trust myself.
Oh,
Asshole. Whoa.
Okay.
We just got here. Let's lighten it up a bit.
Family program.
right now. Okay, we'll get you on the
He
beat.
bought a church for a reason. 'Cause
So
he's
anyway-
full of sin.
Okay, we'll back it up. We got so you want to know about what's going on with the beef? The beef is that none of the fucking people that were supposed to be here as part of the beef showed up because they were too big of pussies.
Are these weed cookies?
I don't believe
No,
so.
just keep eating them.
Oh shit. Shit. I was like, this is not good.
AJ's like
I'm gonna shut him off.
AJ's foreign, so he's not allowed weed.
Alrighty. It's working better. Okay, so anyways, we gotta go. We gotta go. You know what we do? We're gonna do because we have guests that just showed up. They came all this way. We want to get to talking to them, but we first we have to do a segment we call feedback. We got feedback.
We got feedback. It's feedback. Motherfucking feedback.
Welcome to feedback. We got feedback. We already did most of our ads, so we don't have to get into that shit that much. You know, do Amazon. You know, I got the cheddar right here, the fucking cash,
We want
baby.
more.
We want more. You know, do that. You don't give it to us instead of them. But so we know Amazon. But we don't know about Norpac.
The beef people.
Oh, nice.
I like stuttered there. I was like,
I was looking for Beef to say it.
One
I
more
forgot
time.
he moved.
Norpac.
The beef people.
That's nice. It's nice, different though.
I don't know. Yeah, sorry.
Do Marius Norpac.
The beef people.
There you go. They got extra. And Van Dyke Party Services. You know what, people? What time of year is it? It's getting into the holiday season. If you're an American, right now you're probably sitting around a Thanksgiving turkey. You're probably sitting around a table in front of relatives, you know, having a bunch of a yawn fest, red wine and turkey. Oh, yeah, you can have a little sleep, are you? You know? Exciting. You know what you could have done for Thanksgiving? You could have called Van Dyke Party Services or just given us an email at livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com, and we would have sent you between 5 and 29 Van Dyke First Cousins and bright yellow jackets. And all it cost you was $100 of cold hard cash plus all of our expenses, which would have been dear.
Oh, yeah.
And you would have had the Thanksgiving of your dreams and more. And then if you weren't 100% satisfied, you know what? We would return that $100, but those expenses would run through our buddies and potentially yours. Van Dyke Party Services,
Do not live your life in regret.
brought to you by our good friends at Clean Flow.
Hey, Clean Flow.
And Army Electric, you know what I'm going to say to you, Army Electric? I love you, and I hope you get better. I like to just put the buzz out there that something happened, but nothing happened.
You know what I'd like to say to Derek? See you in a couple weeks, big buddy.
Oh, is Derek coming?
Get ready.
Is Derek coming?
Goddamn right he is.
Oh, I'm excited.
We need a good electrician on staff.
You need an electrician if you're going to have a stag party.
That's right.
That's what I've always noticed
Oh,
because,
stag party coming up?
yeah,
We'll come up for a stag party.
up, we're going down.
Yeah, we're going down. About 12 hours down.
Look who invited himself. I want to thank
I
Mike.
want to come celebrate.
Just say no, Pete. Tell him no.
Oh, we're going to Nashville and we're gonna have so much fun. I'm excited. And you know what I'd like to do because I'm a good. I like to sit outside time to just like reflect on my relationship with my wife when I go to a stag party.
Are you not taking her with you?
No, I'm not taking her with. I'm taking charters with me. Hey, we're flying out too now.
Joe, he's going.
Yeah, it's awesome.
He's going.
It's way better.
Way better.
You don't bring.
Hey,
You know what's way better? The way home.
Yeah.
That's why it's.
Yeah.
The way down's always fun.
Either way, you can drive like 100 hours going down somewhere because you're getting excited about getting there. It's easy to go to somewhere, but coming home is a fucking bitch. You know?
Grind.
Even Detroit home, because we're flying out of Detroit. Detroit home to here is like 3 hours.
I went to Bonnaroo.
Yeah,
It's,
Tennessee.
Manchester, so just outside of Nashville, and obviously, Bonnaroo is like one of the biggest music festivals in North America, right? So,
Yeah.
So obviously.
Yeah. Well, when you're not fucking old.
Which year did you go? Steve's been to like 100 of them.
I think it was 2009.
Okay.
Because 2 years before we went to Coachella. It was the
sweet.
Rage
West
Against the
Coast.
Machine.
Oh, the new when Rage
It was the Rage.
in 2007.
2007, we went to Coachella.
Me
it was
and-
our reunion. Yeah.
Yeah, me and Charters went to Lollapalooza that year in Chicago
yeah.
and saw Rage.
That's so badass. So
Yeah, we
fucking
almost
awesome.
died.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly where I'm going.
Yeah.
So at this point, I'm a child, but I've got 7 siblings, right? So
Yeah.
my older brothers were like, we're gonna take Steven to this fucking festival, and so we got a van, and we drove down, and obviously we had a great time, and yeah.
I think it should be on as well.
I can hear you chewing more than I can hear anything else.
It's in my ear.
So anyways, we drove down there, and my brothers and I got supremely fucked up, and on the way back, my brother had this giant panic attack driving.
Yeah.
I think obviously it was like a.
Well, he was fucked up and driving.
No, I think it was the calm down. You know what I mean? Like the
Oh,
calm down,
okay.
like the entire week of
Oh,
just
yeah,
like
yeah.
complete partying, and
Oh, yeah.
he's never been able to drive on the highway since then.
Wow.
Yeah,
They ruined him?
legit. Yeah, no, he can't drive on the highway. Like not legally, but like himself.
Hi-
like,
in his person, he can't do it anymore.
yeah.
And
So that's how fucked up.
has that ever happened to you? Where something that made you not be able to do that anymore? I guess so. Like tequila. I was off tequila for a while.
Yeah.
And then, but if you were like something else like that, where you're like,
Like when a girl farts in your mouth after you're eating her ass?
Yeah, no, but that's just nice. Like that's just a nice surprise.
I still go down. I'm like, I don't care. I'm fearless.
No, I agree with you. No,
We should,
but I did have a situation where I think I was like 17, and I sniffed probably like 8 shots of vodka, like sniffed.
snorted it.
Yeah, snorted it.
Yeah, Charters did that
Just
too.
because I was like,
Whiskey, though.
I'm 17. Let's fucking do it. And I couldn't feel my pinky for a year.
Oh, that's what you were telling me.
Yeah,
The pinky is
Yeah, I could.
controlled by snorting. The snort alcohol.
Apparently.
No, but like
That's
legit,
the science,
like,
man.
I told the doctor, and the doctor was like, "Well, your drinking and drugging is probably not contributing well to this."
Yeah,
But I
yeah.
was like, "You're not concerned with the fact that I can't feel my pinky, and it's been a year." Like,
Yeah, I think when you treat yourself so bad that people are just like,
yeah, that's it, right? It's like
just
like
get
no
used
ma-
to get used
Yeah,
to
just
get used to terrible things happening to you because it's gonna keep
Oh,
going.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, sorry, we're in feedback, right? Shit,
That was fucking.
I forgot. Okay, so feedback. First one we got is it's a follow-up feedback. Follow-up feedback. I feel you were a little hard on my suggestion from last week. I was going for a kids in the hall sort of thing. Now, if you guys want to know what he's talking about there, this is Tigray.
What's I?
And Tig suggested we were talking about the followers of our program. I talked about Dutchaholics. and everyone said that was terrible. And then Tig said it's not that bad. But I was thinking about what was his Children of the Hall.
Yeah, I think that's what he said.
Yeah. And then so then we told him it sucked or whatever. And then
I like Children of the Hall.
Children of the Hall. Anyways, Tig says that he was going for a Kids in the Hall sort of thing, so that makes me like it even less because then it's even more
unoriginal.
Yeah.
True.
Hacky, like it's been done before.
That's pure Tig. Fucking fat bearded hack.
So hey, don't say that. Don't say that about yourself. Come on now.
Look at me! I screamed during my sets. Yeah, okay, bud, relax. We all scream.
He looks in the mirror every time.
These guys hit cues.
Sounds like they got their own grudge matches.
Well, someone here thinks he's stronger than me. Like, fuck that shit.
When you sent me that grudge match thing, I was like, oh, it's going down between the comics. It's not.
No, but there is someone from our program that has a grudge match against Joe Botelho.
Who? Who is there? Someone?
Not on our show, but a listener of our program
Doesn't like me.
Hates you.
When? You never told me this.
Accurate.
And I'm
you know the listener? Is it your fiance?
No, it's not my fiance. No.
Now this guy's a dairy farmer from Innerkip.
Okay. Yeah.
And he has he's a big fan of Shazma.
Yeah.
Big
Brandon
not
McIntosh fan.
Brandon McIntosh fan.
Yeah.
Does not enjoy Joe Botelho.
If he's a dairy farmer, he thought Joe was one of his cows that ran away.
Yeah, can't milk this one, boys. Can't milk this one unless you put a ring on it. But why does he not like me? Specifically because I'm Portuguese? Because he's racist?
No, he doesn't enjoy your comedy styling.
Oh, that's fine.
And then, and so, what I'm suggesting, Joe, is that
to quit comedy. Oh, sorry. Sorry. Go ahead.
They keep telling me to do this, but
AJ keeps making better suggestions. I was saying that we're gonna, because we have this thing to hash out between Steve and Dave, and we also have a thing to hash out between Paul and Kevin.
Yeah.
And now we have this thing to hash out between you and the guy who doesn't like you.
Yeah.
If I can get him to come to a program here at the Dutch Hall, maybe for the fight night, if we do another show with his Dutch Hall fight night, would you come back in?
I'm in Delhi at the end of the month, at the beginning of the month in December, doing a show. If he wants to come out and watch.
The 6th?
Yeah, Bob Townsend's show.
What day of the week is it?
It's a Saturday.
Oh.
So if
you're
he's
at the little Belgium, right?
If he's not too busy pushing poison that is milk to little kids to rot their teeth out.
Easy.
Whoa,
I have
my
to
God.
be honest.
I gotta understand.
Just throwing wood on the fire.
Yeah. He's really stoking it. This guy's a giant, by the way. He's like a giant. He's like farm boy strength. Like he's like
fat boy fat. That's what we call him in the city.
No, it's like you know that guy in the Never-Ending Story. He had the rock hands, and he's trying to save those other people. And he crushed them with his big stupid hands. You know? That's like what this guy would do to you. Like he's like a loving, caring person, but he's so strong and manly that he would just like crush you by accident.
Everyone's like, he will.
Yeah, that's 100% fucking true.
Do I got him?
Yeah, that nailed it right on the head.
Sorry, I'm not a docile animal.
At this point, that Joe, he's a big guy, but he's a bitch.
I'm not a bitch, bro. Emotionally, I'm a bitch. Emotionally, I cry. That doesn't make me physically a bitch.
No. Physically, I have beaten you up every single...
Oh, my God. You're so little and cute. Why would I ever fight you?
I'll tell you.
You're adorable. I would never fight you. You're adorable.
The last, 10 shows we've been
Yeah, I'm getting to know you.
This is the gayest conversation I've ever been a part of.
This is why we played Lola.
I hope that farmer, like that gentle giant, I hope he fucking rips your beard off and just kisses you gently on your forehead.
That would be amazing.
I kick
and
him.
just slaps you on your ass.
I challenge that farmer to a farm off because I bet you he's just like, I'm counting my money from selling all this poison to the schools.
Eating hay doesn't count.
No,
you
bro.
gotta do that.
I come from a real farm.
Hey, Joe, that show you're playing in Delhi?
Yeah.
That remember you did that you did that one time when I booked
Oh, it's
it.
the same place.
Same place.
Oh, okay.
And that guy or that remember that show? That's when you showed.
I almost fought the one guy.
Yeah, that's when you proved to me that you were
fearless.
That you were fearless. No, you didn't. You
But
almost
why?
fought the guy in Guelph like the day
Oh,
after.
you were there that time.
But
Yeah.
It was or the couple days after or
Yeah.
whatever.
Why is the audience trying to fight you?
No, no,
Well,
no.
again,
I've seen you perform, and like,
It's-
why?
I'll
are
tell the
people trying
story.
to fight
Joe-
you?
No, there was this crowd that we were playing for was
rowdy.
hostile.
Yeah.
You know, like half
Yeah,
of them
I
were
get-
nice
I
and
get
they were.
that, but
and then-
luckily, it was all men on the show, not boys like these two. Like it was real men.
That's why I booked those
Yeah,
guys.
it was
yeah.
just real men on the show. No, I love you guys like brothers, but I'm just saying. I
You know,
wouldn't-
suck a dick. You know, you're trying to be nice, and then you're like,
I wanted
don't
grown-ups.
fucking psychology 101 me
I
by
will
saying
literally-
something
I
mean,
will-
and then
I will pull it up on camera. Joe literally begged me to send him a message today saying that he was funnier than me.
No, that was for you to get
No.
like to feel better.
No.
You guys are
You
kind of
said-
there's like a flirtiness between
It
you
is very flirty.
that I'm really picking up on.
Because he wants some
I'm glad
fucking-
AJ's, but it's
AJ's
but
like, "They
you're
got something."
throwing it at him.
That's
You're
why
throwing it at
AJ's
him.
between
He's
you.
he's throwing it at you.
He knows I'm married. I'm very happy at home, so I'm not going anywhere.
I want to do. I got to do this feedback.
I want to move.
I got to do this feedback. I got to do this feedback. So Tig, we were doing on Tig. Also, last week's episode was the first one in months where Steve missed a Dutch Hall Facts Q.
Oh no.
The German.
And Steve, I got to tell you, I didn't even know you were doing it
No.
because I don't listen to my show at all, and I don't barely pay attention when I'm actually doing this.
Sure.
But is it just the weird facts thing? Like
Yeah.
when I say something that's only a Dutch Hall fact? Oh, you do that?
Something like that.
I didn't even. So not only did I not notice it, but I just got used to it over time. Like it just became like a natural thing.
Sure.
But if I was to say, for example, that there are like more gay people now in society.
Wow. Let's.
What? Let me finish.
I didn't say anything. I just laughed. Jesus
Uh,
Christ.
who said what though?
Not me.
Oh, sorry. So if he goes, if there are more gay people now than before, I believe I'm going to say just definitively Dutch Hall fact. That's what you do, like when I cue a Dutch Hall fact. So you want me to tell you what it is? The fact?
Sure.
Dairy farmers are putting gay juice into milk. Fucking dairy farmers.
No,
Oh, Joe.
I'm going to tell you my theory.
Oh boy.
My theory is I watched this evolution thing, so I really was keen on this like evolution thing.
But, okay. But this is my
So like
question.
this is what happened.
Does this have to be a-
We were like monkeys, right?
Yeah.
And then we came down from the trees because all of a sudden, like the part of Africa that we were on, like broke off and became like Ethiopia or whatever, and then it became this sub-Sahara thing. And then we had to come down and like walk, and then we became like bipedal, and then our muscles changed, and then we ended up being able to like throw things, so we could kill things from afar or whatever. And then we eventually evolve, right? So the reason that we one of the big points of evolution was that we had to breed a lot. We had to like get big because of our limitations on the ground. We would be subject to being murdered by predators unless we had a lot of us that could all throw stones at the lion or whatever, you know. So then we would just keep fucking, you know, so that we would have more babies, right?
So that makes German Steve gay.
No, listen to my gay theory. It goes like this. Then over time,
I'm on your
in
side.
order for our species to survive, we have to have more fucking, right?
Yep.
So that we have big clans so that we can keep ourselves together. And you combine that with the fact that we have like these divides amongst different clans of people even, you know, because we don't we don't know if they're going to be like murderous or
yeah.
hostile, you know? So then anyways, time goes on. The strength in numbers thing goes on for a long time. They put it in the Bible. They put it in all the writings. You know, you got to like have fuck, you know. Don't pull out.
And if it's in the Bible, it means it's true.
That's right.
Yeah,
And then,
that's-
but in all the
Jesus
writings,
Christ
it was all about
our
like,
Savior.
in order to save the species, we got to have more and more of us, right? And then, but I think now, It doesn't matter
Because there's a lot of us.
because there's so many of us. If you want to save the species, have less of us.
So butt sex is like.
So I'm saying that it doesn't matter because in
not how
a
many gay people
relationship
there are, is that-
relationship now you just want companionship.
That's true.
You just want
We had honestly.
So it doesn't matter. You don't need to procreate, is what I'm saying. You can have sex with anything. I can have sex with watermelon.
On our way here.
I can. You want to see?
It's because you're from Africa? Is that why you said that?
No,
Might be from Africa. There's one in the wood
on
pile.
our
In the wood pile.
on our long trip here, we had a conversation about that, about codependency and shit, and it makes sense. It's like companionship. It's like doesn't matter if it's with a girl. It's just like, you know, having someone just say.
Like listen to lesbians, especially like right.
Well, it comes down to that song. I might as well admit it. I'm addicted to love.
Oh, Robert Palmer.
That's the song. Wow.
I don't even know who did that song. But
There's a drop off. You know, I'm gonna say it is just like that song. You know what?
Okay, wait.
Braden?
Can you get back to your point?
Can you remind me what my point was?
There's more gay people.
Oh, so after, but my point was that like now for our species to survive, we need less of us, not more of us. So there's no motivation, survival motivation to breed, right? As soon as you figure that out, then it doesn't matter about like procreation. So it just matters about companionship. So then it's more like. Look at lesbians as a great example. Like people that go turn lesbian, like once they like go through menopause and they lose their sex drive, and then all of a sudden they start like they're lesbian, but they never even eat the girl's pussy because they don't have a sex drive, right? But the girls love going out antiquing together or whatever the fuck they do,
like
and
I
so
said,
then they live the rest of their life together. Or there's sometimes
it's a codependent relationship where you're not getting off sexually. You're just getting off on the fact that you have someone there to say I love you.
and if you have to fuck their armpit to get off, then you'll do it.
that. Exactly.
Yeah, but we had that before. It was called friendship, man. You could just be with someone and not say you're lesbians. You could just say we're love antiquing together and we care about each other.
No.
Yeah, but do you blow your load in their armpit is what I'm asking.
So here's the thing. Pete starts off with a very like convincing point. He's like, and then he goes like armpit fucking, and then you're not supposed to laugh. If you laugh, you're the asshole. Like, how am I supposed to take this conversation seriously when fucking Joe here is acting Dr. Philip, a fucking meeting of the mind that's happening in this fucking area right now? And I'm the asshole if I laugh.
Wait, does it belittle my point?
No,
I said
it does.
armpit
It really
fuck?
does. It's a lot. A lot. And no, Pete. We do need more people.
No, we don't.
Yes,
we need
we
less
do.
people. We have
Yes,
we have
do.
limited resources, and we're running out of
No,
people.
because our
We're
food
not,
supply keeps getting poisoned by milk from dairy farmers out in Delhi.
No,
So
Interkip.
Interkip doesn't even exist, that place.
The Kip? You don't know the Kip?
I believe those people
Fuck
are,
you, man.
I bet you there's a lot of not fucking going on in that
If you go
place.
to the Kip, you've
I
never
challenge
you've never been
everyone
to
from
the Kip.
to come here.
He
and fight
doesn't
me.
know what he's doing.
Oh man,
He doesn't know what he's doing.
Dude, I've told him.
You never been Interkip, man. You're gonna die. He's gonna die. He's gonna die.
You're gonna drown him in the quarry.
I told him this on
He's
the way
gonna
here.
tie a cinder
that
block around his neck.
Yeah.
I grew up.
That's the Interkip move. That's the Kip kick.
Yeah.
I grew up Washington, Hanover area, so
Yeah.
farm boy.
Yeah.
And I was like, you can't say
I'm a
this
farm
shit.
boy.
Yeah,
Yeah, I come
see-
from a
see?
city, man.
Yeah.
Where did you
alright?
grow up? In Hamilton,
yeah,
a whole way
I
through?
was born in
He thinks
Toronto
he's
on the
bulletproof,
streets,
but
all
he
right?
Oh,
The
if you-
streets of Toronto. Mel Lastman called in the army.
Okay,
to
let me
take
just
us
say,
out.
okay, Joe, that's not true. You were not born in
I was
Toronto.
born in Toronto, raised in Hamilton.
You were really born in
And
Toronto?
I lived in Mount Hope and Mount Farm.
the mean
for a
When
little
did you move out of Toronto?
I was 5.
Okay, good.
Yeah, the fucking mean streets of little Portugal. It's so intimidating.
Because there's no
Mount
way,
is
there's no way
intimidating.
that Joe
The
was
word
like,
little is in it.
Fight it off.
Beware, people.
Hope is literally
don't seem
the
Toronto.
country.
I don't seem Toronto because I'm very everyday man.
you know
I'm
why?
very
You don't.
average Joe.
You're also too old to be Toronto.
I'm not too old to be Toronto.
Yeah, nobody in
Are
Toronto
you
is
saying
our
John
age.
Tory's too old to be Toronto? You're saying that
He doesn't live there.
Rob Ford's too old to be Toronto? What
I
are you saying?
doubt they live there.
All the best from Toronto.
They probably
are
spent 6
old.
months in Muskoka.
That's
and they just
true.
go to
Which
work
is
in their
Toronto
stupid
North.
office in
That's
Toronto. Yeah.
Toronto North. I mean,
You can't live in that city if you're a grown up. You have to go somewhere else where you can afford to live like a grown up.
It's the same as
No,
what I did.
Hamilton's too expensive too. Come to Norfolk.
yeah, but you got
Go to the shittiest of the shit, and then you
You
can
mean
be like,
Interkip or wherever the hell that place is?
Interkip's
Jesus
great.
Christ.
Oh my God, he's gonna die.
Oh my
You
God.
are fucking asking for it,
I
bud.
just want to say that
You
Joe-
know what? If you go to play women's softball in Interkip,
Can't wait to play women's soccer.
Because that's what you would be playing.
you go to women's softball game in Interkip, and 90% of the team would murder you.
Oh, fuck.
Right? For if you heard him say that,
I'm not. Well,
women's softball team would kick his ass in
Yes,
Interkip.
I mean, I've
easily.
never played softball. I'm sure they could.
Oh, you
Sure,
ever see
kids-
those Kip girls throw?
No, I don't know.
I just-
Fucking whip it right your other hand.
Are amazing.
I just want to say that Joe
All right,
Botello
I think
represents
this is.
himself.
I know
Doesn't
we're
represent me
in
at
the middle
all.
of feedback, and believe it or not, we're going to get to this before the end of the show. We'll get to the end of feedback, and we'll tie this all up in a tidy bow. If you're wondering,
Do it.
That. I don't know. the
But I
drummer-
have to
love-
tell you-
I don't know the drummer's name.
Kevin.
Kevin. I love that he's trying to cut this off. He keeps throwing in fills. Like, all right.
well, that's because that's the show works. Because that's the greatest band in Canadian late night
But
history.
also-
Fuck yeah.
They've backed me up with
That's right.
stingers.
But
Not a big deal.
also-
Watch this feedback. Watch this. That's a
Also,
Dutch Hall
I
fact,
wanna say-
motherfucker.
I want to say that the first and only time I was on this show, there was no drummer.
You were the drummer.
I was the drummer.
Yeah.
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 And you didn't even have a drum.
That's why we got Kev.
Yeah.
Oh, you didn't have a drummer?
Oh wait.
Yes.
Instant feedback.
Watch out, he might be from Interkip or whatever the place that is.
I don't know you, but I love you. But I'm better than you.
So
I'm
I lost my fucking place.
Instant feedback.
So you get light.
We
You don't
hesitated
quite have
on
the
it.
power.
Where'd you get a
Light
Tim-
power.
That was like a 1 star.
I also can I? I'm gonna get to this one piece of feedback because I think you guys will. Wes and Steve will enjoy this one. Sultans of Swing is one of my favorite songs.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Well done, boys.
And then we wrecked it.
Although you were missing some of the nocturnal emissions, I still really enjoyed your rendition. It was like a clean, stripped down version. Sometimes it's just nice to listen to the guitar.
Yeah.
Not the bass, Wes. She didn't mention the bass. She said it's nice to listen to the guitar alone, is what she said. Ooh, stings, eh?
Didn't say
Stings.
bass at all.
Did not enjoy the bass. Ooh, ouchie. Especially when listening to talented players like you guys. And then she put a heart.
Whoa.
She said guys with
nice.
heart.
That's
That's
nice.
good,
Yeah.
Wes.
No,
that's
she loves
nice.
you. She loves you both. She just assumes a bass is a guitar. It is. Technically, it is.
Yeah, I don't think people. I don't. Yeah.
Yeah, they don't distinguish
Okay, then.
between them
That's a good
because
point.
they're stringed instruments with a big neck.
I'm from the country. This is what I think about guitars.
Oh, that's what I wanted to do, Joe. Thank you, man. You reminded me.
No.
So
what-
Joe's from Hamilton,
Hammer, Oscar Wee Wee.
and young. He's been influenced by young
When was the
Toronto
last
Joe.
time you were at a fucking Tycat?
Okay.
Last year.
The rest of us are like country boys, right? And
Yeah.
and Steve is a London guy, right?
London, Ontario.
No.
And then
Brant-
AJ's a Libyan, so we
Brantford.
can't.
Brantford.
That's a totally different thing.
That's a-
So we still have to ask this question to
Yeah, but
AJ.
Libya's like
Do
the
it.
Brantford of the
Just let him
Middle
get to
East.
his point, Jesus Christ.
And Steve, you're what? Brantford
Brantford.
is where you're brought up.
Yeah.
Okay, so we got Brantford, Libya, Hamilton,
Right.
Norfolk, okay, and Oxford,
Well,
And London.
Middlesex.
and then London. Yes. So Steve, the story is Steve has been helping me work in the church. We've been renovating this church, and Steve is he's more of an editor. He's more.
Video producer.
Yeah, video
Just
producer.
sound
He's
play
he's
as much
more
as
of a
you-
guitar player. He's more of a he's more of
Artistic
a
guy.
yes.
Yeah.
Then he's a man of his hands. So Steve works with me, and you know what? He's been fantastic. He's always stepped up to the challenge, and he's done things I think that even surprised him. Right, Steve?
Of course.
And that he's been doing. He's doing great. And so every time I work with Steve, I slice my hand open in some fashion, or I will injure myself, like daily, you know? If we, like I was saying earlier in the show, if we had a one of those things that's saying, like, it's been zero so many days, it would always be at zero. We have injured ourselves every day. And when I say ourself, it's always me. Steve has never been injured once. He wears steel-toed shoes. And
What? Really?
Yeah.
Got that PPE, baby.
PPE.
Anyway, so
white hard hat.
I bleed on every floor I've laid, and I bleed all over, right? And the thing is, when I injure myself and then I bleed, I will then continue to work until I'm finished the job, and then I nurse my wound. You know, I don't
like a man from Hamilton. That's right.
I don't. Well, you do manual labor for.
Yeah, I was doing it today.
Yeah, and if you
Hard work.
you injure yourself, right?
All the time, man. Not just my heart, my body too.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Boo, boo, boo.
Do you know why that guy doesn't like you?
I think AJ almost puked.
Why? Because he's not okay with his sexuality.
If you know the demographic of this show that listens to Die from the Dutch Hall,
Yeah, exactly.
they would hate every single piece about Joe.
I hate
Why
it
would
too.
they
I'm not from
hate
here, and I
me?
hate it too. I can relate to that. What man says, "Oh, my body, my soul"?
Yeah, a man that's not afraid to be himself.
You're his friend, though.
I
You're like
hate
his close
everything that he
friend,
says right
and
now.
he.
That's why I'm a friend. I have to tell him this.
Yeah, I
It's
know.
fucking.
What do you hate about me? That I make you a better person?
No, we're not talking about that. We're,
I don't know.
I agree with you 100%. I love Joe.
I love
I don't
Joe,
know
too.
why I love Joe.
I know why I love him,
Because-
but here's the thing, though.
Why?
It's,
Tell me
but
why I love him.
Because he is a very caring person. Like when you need him, he's there for you. But you see,
But he's always putting his finger in your ass.
Yeah, that part I can
He'll
even
give you a
look-
hug,
I
but he
can
puts his
look,
finger in
you
your
know,
bum.
Yeah, but like just when somebody in Norfolk, it comes to Norfolk County and says, "Oh, my body, my soul hurts," it's like nobody can take that.
Well, you know what? Too bad, Norfolk. We're taking over. I'm not here to belong. I'm here to take over.
How about
We were ready at 8 o'clock.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I was stuck.
His phone was fucking off.
Ask him why his phone was
Because
off.
I was sending inspirational Instagrams to people.
No.
I call them Botelloholics.
nauseating. Yuck.
No.
You know what I mean?
you're the angry skeptic online, right?
I'm so angry though. But it's like
Okay,
because I'm angry, there's not enough love out there. I feel like there's not.
I've done comedy with you for a few years,
Yeah,
Joe.
not very.
And the whole time I've followed you on it on all your things.
Brought me
Ang-
nothing but misery. Oh,
angry
sorry,
skeptic.
Go ahead. Go, sorry. Go ahead.
angry skeptic, right?
Yeah.
But you've never been angry or a skeptic
He's
on any
not.
of those
No,
platforms.
no.
Yeah, I just like the name. It's a cool name.
Yeah, but you never speak about religion. You never speak about anything.
I mean, I don't want to offend people. I'm very like I
you
like.
called yourself an angry skeptic because
Yeah,
you're an
I mean,
atheist.
It's really just a label that people put on me that know me best. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
but
No one's ever called you that. That's like
I
calling
know
yourself
you and
Trigger
you're
or something
not.
like, or like
listen,
fucking.
I was having dinner with Richard Dawkins the other day, and this topic came up. I don't know how, but it did.
The angry skeptic topic came up.
Yeah. And,
Who's Richard Dawkins?
Oh, come on.
Is he like a
scientist.
smart guy?
Yeah, super God delusion, great writer. I helped him with the forward.
name drop.
This is so you did not.
Yeah, please, all the booze that you can give him.
If Joe did that, I would be the first one. I would have said it in his intro.
Yeah, I know. You should have.
I don't like to toot
Even
my
if I
own
didn't know
horn.
who that guy was, I would still have
I
said
like
it
to
as a
toot my own
credit.
horn.
I,
You don't just throw that in at the end, like,
Exactly,
"Hey, I did
yeah.
something." No, Joe's like, "I did nothing."
You know what
ever.
I do? Continue to do? Be a good friend. But, keep getting
You
shit
are a
on.
great
Thank
friend.
you.
He is a great
He's
friend.
a great friend. I have nothing
And you
to say
want to know
about
why
that.
he's a great friend?
Yeah.
And this is something I'll say about the Portuguese people because I have a Portuguese friend that I love. With he's been one of my best friends since I've been 4.
More than you love charters?
No, I don't know, but probably.
Oh my God! Just
Runner up.
You know, if I had to rank my friends, which I like
There's
to
no
do,
need to do that. We're
I would
rank 'em
say-
all the time.
I would say Charters has not been my friend as long because if you look at our history of friendship, Charters and I were like distant to one another from 4 till probably 12, like grade school years. We were like we were acquaintances, you know. And then in grade 9, we went to the same high school, but we were acquaintances who would fight at recess.
yeah.
Okay, like,
You guys-
but it was
you
sport,
guys
like
knew
it was.
each other in grade 9?
No, we knew
No,
each other in
kindergarten.
kindergarten.
Really?
Yeah, in kindergarten, and then when we went to high school, all my friends went to Waterford High School, and then all the people that I'd fight at recess went to Brantford with me. And Charters was one of those guys, and those guys used to like kick my pick on me on the bus because I'd sit with
You
my
have
sister.
a warm smile. And men can't handle it from this part of the world. They can't handle a warm
I
smile.
had the same thing.
I don't know why.
I was a Brantford kid, and I had to go to
Where did you go to high school?
St. John's.
Me too.
Yeah.
What? Give it up, St. John's.
Yeah.
At
You guys
that
should go
time,
bowling.
is the
I still got
only-
my kilt.
Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding.
That was only
I had you there for a
for-
second.
that was only for women.
Yeah. Oh, I get it.
Yeah, of course you would say that only for women from Brantford. You don't accept other people for what
I
they
just
are.
want to say that I came alone tonight, so if anyone
Don't you
Oh, that's
always
why you
come
came
Did I
alone?
make my point
Seem
about
to
how
come
we
alone a
we
lot.
want to survive, so you
Yeah.
don't because there's so limited resources, so you don't have
See,
as much
I've
sex.
been on your
So then it
side
doesn't
this
matter. So you
whole
just go with the
time,
person.
so-
You're not
yeah.
you don't need a person's hips to be childbearing anymore.
You need hips. Trust
You just
me.
need a
Hips
hole
are
to put your
important.
dick into, right?
Whoa,
That's
whoa,
true.
whoa, whoa. Women
Or
are
a
more
crease.
than just holes. Women are more than just
I didn't say
holes.
women.
Women are smart. Women are beautiful. Women
I didn't
are
say
achieve things. Women raise families. Why do you put down the achievements of women?
Where
when
did
what
I
have
say
you
women are
achieved?
holes? Where did I ever?
You just said we don't need them.
Oh,
They're
No,
just
I
a
said
hole.
you can.
I
You can
read
fuck.
between the lines. I read between the lines.
Who else has got holes, Joe?
You do in your heart because you don't let women
Yeah,
in
and
to
guess
fill
what?
it
You can
up.
put in that hole.
A woman's love.
No, your dick, Joe. Your
It's not
dick.
about dicks all the time, Pete. It's not
No,
about
this
dicks.
particular point was about
All right.
dicks.
I'm just looking out for all the women out
This
there.
is why that
you can
guy
follow
hates
me at
you.
The Angry Skeptic.
You hate him too, right? Everybody hates him, like universally. And we do. And last time he was on the show, remember the last time I was on the show, I said I had to control him, so I was like, you're gonna sit right there and you're gonna be the co-host.
Yeah.
And I'll make it about me and you, Joe, so that you and me can do it together. And you know what
That's
Joe
the
did? He didn't look at me the whole show. He just talked to AJ the whole time. Stared into his eyes and fucking did not pay attention to what we were doing as a show.
That's the only way you can get him to be quiet if you tell him that's about you. You know, if
Yeah,
you're
yeah.
thinking about it.
I tried and it didn't even work.
You knew him, but you.
I wasn't even trying to get him to
I
be quiet,
talked.
just be on topic, you know?
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
be on
But
what
you
we're-
were saying like Norfolk County in London and Libya.
Yeah, in Libya,
yeah.
what would you do? You cut yourself when you're working? You
Thanks,
you
AJ.
nurse the wound, or you go?
yeah,
What do you
well-
do after the bomb goes
Okay,
off?
I was about to answer the question.
Yeah, you're cutting off.
if you get injured in Libya, if you're not Libyan, then you're probably gonna be left to die. I swear to God.
I don't know why that's funny.
It's funny, hilarious.
So if I go to Libya,
because you're white, you'd be treated like royalty. It's just
really, I'm better there.
Of course, 100%.
It's better everywhere. You're white.
No, I don't
Most
know.
people hate white people, don't
Nah, not white people.
No,
we love each other.
yeah, Arabs love white people. We love them.
they? Really, we're not that good. We never fuck them over.
Well, we buy all their
you
oil.
did, but like
Oh, we buy their shit.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Guys
We
give
buy
us-
their wives too, I heard.
Yes, yeah.
Yo,
I don't-
anyone
Libyan
from
girls
Libya
aren't
wants to
for
challenge
sale.
me? I'm
No,
right
they're
here,
not, no.
boys.
No.
I like to say that I don't think any women are for sale. If that's something I need to say,
That's not what you said
I
in
never
the
thought
car.
I need to say that, but yeah. No, if you get injured in Libya, if you're Libyan, it's free healthcare, so you can easily go to the hospital and just get.
No, but that's not the point.
On site.
You have to cut the, like this was the exact example.
Okay.
It was a vinyl floor.
Mhm.
I got a utility knife. I'm just cutting it to the size of the room or whatever.
mhm.
So I'm just running my finger down and I slice my finger, right? So, but I still got to cut like another 20 feet of the floor.
You
Do
just
you
kept
nurse
going.
the wound or do you finish
Oh,
cutting
you
the
finish.
You got 9
you
other
finish.
fingers, brother. Got 9 other
Finish.
fingers.
You finish your job and
You
then
finish the job
Yes.
and then nurse the wound, right?
Yes,
That's
yes.
what God gave you 10 fingers for.
Steve, you Brantford, born and raised.
Yes.
Do you finish the job or do you nurse the wound?
So
Do you collect welfare after?
That is
no,
terrible
I
because
think, I think I'm.
But he's going to need someone to help him fill up the paperwork because he doesn't know how to read.
Oh.
you know what Brantford
Oh,
jokes
come
are
at me,
so
Brantford.
easy.
Yeah,
Just
I
like
know.
they're women.
You know-
That's the funny
And Brantford
thing
is
that-
like they're the best town in
Yeah,
Ontario
so-
that I've
it's
played,
so easy to make fun of Brantford, but
and they all laugh at it. They all laugh,
but,
and no
yeah,
one gets their nuts in a knot
I've
about it.
lived in Norfolk County, and no offense, but
What part?
not much.
What part though?
I've lived in Simcoe,
Simcoe's the worst.
That's why.
Yep.
That would be why.
Simcoe's the worst. You want me to rank Norfolk for you? I'll do it easily. Number 1, Delhi.
Drink.
Yeah, no big deal.
Shout out to Delhi.
And you know what? It slipped down the rankings. I'm gonna go number 2, Waterford. Number 3, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go Langton.
Wow.
Number 3.
3.
Drink.
Wow.
Then I go Cortland.
Wow.
Oh.
Wait, what am I missing?
Dover.
Yeah, no, they're shit.
Down there. They're down.
Dover's dead last and Simcoe's second to last. I know that.
So that's where.
But who else is in there?
Wow.
I'm missing a community. Port Rowan. Port Rowan's above Dover and above Simcoe. And what else am I missing?
I disagree because Dover.
What about Teeterville?
They just know how to hide it. They just know how to hide it.
What does?
Dover.
Dover?
Yeah.
Dover's not what it used to be.
They're just the people that are like, it's cool. I'm from Dover.
It used to be. Dover used to be a bunch of hippies and fishermen, and then all the Toronto retirees moved in and just made these subdivisions that looked just like a Toronto subdivision, and now it's just garbage.
Gross. Yeah.
It's gross, right? Compared to what you're used to, right? It was it used to have like its own charm, and then it just ends up turning into everywhere else, you know?
Like I talked to you earlier today, and last time I was on the podcast, it was probably a year ago, right?
It was in the winter time because we had real snow then, so it was probably about 8 months ago.
Me and my ex, we fucking dissed the car.
Oh yeah, it was funny at the time. Steve was.
That was you that put it in the ditch.
Yeah, Steve and his girlfriend were both sober, and the rest of us were drunk.
Yeah.
And then we had towed him out of the ditch.
Had a bunch of drunk people tow us out of the ditch.
Yeah, but it was old school, just a nice chain.
Yeah.
But not a big deal.
Not a big deal for you
I
guys.
put up reflectors on my driveway because of that incident.
Yeah.
You know who wouldn't tow you out? The dairy farmer, because he's too busy being a bum.
I can't wait till Joe has to actually meet him
I actually
face to
think
face.
he could lift the car and put it on the road.
I'd like to see that.
He's a monster. We're going to introduce him to a monster. But I'll tell you, when Joe was at that show in Delhi, and I know we're bouncing around, when Joe was at that show in Delhi, I said to him, there was these four people that were fairly homophobic or whatever, and and Joe was like going on doing like his Joe thing where he was being very like aggressively gay, like he was going, you like even on this program you sound gayer than normal. Like your voice.
I'm surrounded with two beautiful men that I love very much, and I've been through so much with these guys.
Hey, I'm not, and I don't mean any negative connotation to that comment at all. I'm only saying it as being like I feel like
I want the people at home who are listening to this that are homophobic, like the dairy farmer, to know that I think it's beautiful.
Say mine.
Yeah, no, it's not about your sexuality that he doesn't like. He doesn't like anything about you. He says everything he doesn't like. So, anyways, is that right, Mike? Because you got more of the comments than I did.
Yeah, it was pretty clear. Just didn't like Joe at all.
You guys didn't let me know about this.
No, no, I want to do it for this, and then
saved it for when you're on.
And then
I called you and I told you, like I relapsed and I drank, which fucking sucks. But whatever.
That's when he sucked my dick.
I thought you didn't want to talk about it though, on the show.
No, I said.
Oh, you said you would talk about it. Oh, okay. Yeah, because last time you were on the show, Steve, you were sober, and then I misunderstood.
If you don't want to bring it up,
yeah. Well, you brought it up, and then
you brought it up. We're in the middle talking about me again, because the dairy farmer needs to know about this.
That is going to happen. Will you come back, though, to do it if I set you a date?
Yeah, absolutely. I love people. I love all people.
Yeah, I know. It'll be fun to do, though, because what we're trying to do with this grudge match is we're going to have, and Steve, we're going to get back to you, but we're going to do, I just have to tie up loose ends because we're over an hour. So we have Mike. Who's got a problem with me? Nobody? So we got Steve and Dave, Paul and Kevin, Joe and Big Dutch. From Interkip. And we have to confirm that we can get the Big Dutch in here. I don't know if there's room for him, but either way, we're going to make this happen.
Sit on my lap.
He'll just sit on Joe.
And then we have left Wes, Braden, Michael, and Pete.
Right.
Right. So we have to find grudges between the four of us somehow.
It's gonna create grudges.
All right. Do you guys have a problem in Crown and Lion? You and Wes and Mike?
No, I think me and Wes are pretty good.
Nothing at all?
There might be a couple other guys, but no, we're good. I think we're all good.
Yeah.
This is the easiest guy to deal with ever.
I can have one grudge with Braden because the guy fucking he totally shit the bed last week.
Oh,
and
yeah,
you know what?
right.
We didn't even ride his ass on the show, did we? I don't think we even.
I didn't listen to it.
Yeah, you didn't. You shouldn't have because you should have been ashamed.
I was ashamed.
Yeah, he was ashamed too. You could tell.
Oh, he's here this week.
Legit ashamed. Yeah. And it was like we just let him in the nocturnal emissions officially in the group on Facebook, and then he
falls asleep.
And then he falls asleep. The first time he got comfortable in his new role. He got comfortable with the acceptance we gave him. And then he just fell asleep like Paul Van Dyke behind the bar.
That's right.
He'll never know that too because he doesn't listen to our program, Joe. No, he doesn't.
Bastard.
Okay, so
I'll
we
fight
got
him too.
the grudge matches. This is how it's going to go down. We get the pairings. We're still going to work out the final pairings. Those guys got to compete. We're going to flesh out the issue. We're going to work out the issue. Then they're going to compete in a way to resolve it.
Right.
And then the loser of that competition has to spin the wheel of humiliation and do whatever comes up on the wheel.
Pay the price.
All right.
Right?
How intense is this wheel?
We'll find out.
We'll find out. We're going to have to do some. It's got to be an agreed upon wheel.
They have
Like everybody's got to agree to take the risk that it's on the wheel. It's not going to have like.
Dress. Oh, so scary. Yeah, whatever. Such a baby of humiliation. Yeah, I'm gonna make it.
Well, one of them will probably be like I'm going to get some used hypodermic needles from the hospital and just.
So you're going to Brantford? Cool. All
And
right.
I'll just that'll be one just like I was going to just glue it on the board or tape it with masking tape. And you spin it around, and then if you're on that one, you just shove that in your vein and just hope you don't get AIDS.
Yes.
Right?
Wow. Shit, that's very intense. Holy
Hopefully
fuck.
that AIDS counts.
I'm really. I don't want Joe to fight this Dutch guy at all.
No,
Please, Joe, just
for real,
apologize already.
For real. Why does everyone think Brantford's that bad?
Oh, I'll tell you why. I went to high school there. I'll tell you why. Brantford's that bad because
I went to high school there as well.
Uh,
and I was a shithead.
you were?
That would be why.
Yeah, and I'm clean.
Yeah. A whistle. As a whistle.
Clean as a
whistle.
Clean as a whistle.
You know what, people? We are keeping the fine nocturnal emissions from their Betty by time. And our listeners, 2 people are still sticking in here.
All right.
2 guys.
2 times.
And so we have to, but we do have to call it a show.
Okay, wait a
eventually.
second. Pete.
What did I not do? Oh, Steven.
Yeah, the married guy with a wife and 4 kids, not gay.
What?
Didn't you say I was gay earlier? Wasn't that whole thing about me being gay?
No, it was about you getting cut. Yeah, that's what you were getting to at one time.
It wasn't about Steve being gay.
No.
No, it was about you being about you. You were reacting to my cut because you thought I got my finger cut off by a saw, and that I went into the bathroom, and then this is what you thought happened, right?
Yes.
You thought I got my finger cut off by a saw or a part of it cut off, and then I went into the bathroom and run under the tap, and then I just screamed like because of the pain or whatever. And then I just went back to work afterwards and bled for a little bit and then stopped bleeding. And
Yes.
then you were like, how did he stop bleeding? He's not human, right?
Yes, I did. It was crazy. You reached right for the blade,
Yeah.
and then you hit something, and you went, "Oh fuck!" And you held your finger and you ran out of the room. And I was like, "Oh my god, he hit the fucking blade. That's crazy."
Oh, yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, doo-doo-doo. I'm like, I would have gone to the hospital. What in the fuck, Pete?
Yeah, I'm a fucking
No.
man. Solid steel and sex
Give it
appeal.
up.
Yeah, no hospital.
Yeah, it was a nail. It was a stab by a nail.
It's just like
It's
every
just another
day you do that
It's
shit.
Another day for us men, Pete.
It only squirts blood
These
for a little
girls
bit.
don't understand. These ladies.
Don't you like it? And don't
I like feeling
at that
pain
show
sometimes.
to tie up the loose end. We have so many loose ends.
Like feeling pain.
Joe was being real gay, and then those homophobic guys were. I'm like, what is he doing? He's gonna get his ass kicked. And then I'm like lining up the comics in the back of the room, saying like, I think we might have to go kind of like help Joe because he's like poking the bee's nest right now. And then Joe finishes his set. And then I look over at Joe. He's sitting on the guy's lap. He's
Oh, yeah,
sitting
he
on one of
didn't
the
care
guys.
at all. It was awesome.
He's sitting on one of the guys' laps, and I'm like, oh shit, we're really gonna have to go. And then he comes. Everything's fine at the end of the set. He comes back, and I say, Joe, weren't you afraid that guy was gonna hit you or something? And Joe goes, I've been roofing all summer. Like feel my muscles, feel my muscles.
That's fucking true.
There's no fear at all, eh?
And you guys were all back. There was you, Ty. It was Dan Brennan and Brandon. It was all like men. Like,
Yeah, it was people that would fight
like
with
real
you.
men. Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. It's fun when
Not
it is
like,
like
not like Shazma or something.
he'd fight though. Shaz would fight. I know he'd give it all he's got. He'd swing those little
I've
fists
seen
of
him
his.
take punches, and you think that he's just gonna break, and then he's just like bounces right back up. I've seen him take a really hard punch.
Really?
before. Yeah.
Yeah, but
Oh
that
my
was
God.
believe
By his
That's
cousin.
that's from his
And
girlfriend.
It was right.
though.
No, it was by his cousin, who's like
Well,
much bigger than
That's
him.
what I'm saying. Is
And it
like,
was really good.
He just bounced back.
It's
Oh yeah.
I believe
yeah,
it.
Yeah, he's one of those
He's
kind
resilient.
of guys.
That
It's easy to say, but no one.
It'd take
has
splitting
ever-
him in half.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
but no
Gumby.
one-
eh?
no
Just
one-
comes
no
right
one
back.
has ever actually.
All right.
All right.
Oh, sorry.
Shaz got
Oh.
so much love in him, it just won't break.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you know, Shaz is he's like he doesn't even need organs to live. You know, he's tough as shit, right? Anyways, we got to get going. We're gonna wrap this show up, everyone. Thank you, everyone, for listening. We have 4 more shows here in the hall after this one.
Hopefully Dave makes one.
Hopefully, Dave will make one to pay his debts to Steven, because I think Steve's going to kick his ass.
Sure am.
He's becoming more of a man every day I work with him,
money's
and
on
Dave's becoming less of a man.
Starting to rate songs, Dave.
Oh, yes.
Hint, hint.
Hint, hint. Dave, what have you written lately, the man that writes music for the show? This was a question posed by Steve earlier in the evening. Just chew on that, you fucking twat. Twat. I want to say twat and twit at the same time.
So you say-
Anyways, guys, thanks for listening live from the Dutch Hall. Tell your friends, give us some feedback at livefromthedutchhall@gmail.com, or you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter. You can go see you can follow Joe, the Angry Skeptic, on Instagram and Twitter and
I'll
everything.
be on 820 Funny Radio tomorrow on Manolis Santanos and Patrick Campolino's show. Listen to me at 4:20. I'll be on the radio. What? That's right.
And then you're also going to be at the Little Belgium in
Little
Delhi.
Belgium on
There you go.
Delhi, December 1st. Come at me, bro. Get your tickets early for the gun
Are you in the
show.
secret
They'll be
show in
fucking lined
Hamilton?
up.
I'm also on the secret show in Hamilton.
There's a secret show in Hamilton. If you
There's-
want to go to it, I'll send
There's
an
Hershey
invitation out.
parking out front if you want to bring your cows.
If you're from Hamilton, there's a secret show going on. You can email me or text me, and I will give you the details on the secret show, which I'll be performing at as well.
You're there too? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And AJ, how do people follow you or do?
Yeah, you can find me on AJ Bate, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and tomorrow I'm gonna be. I don't do Snapchat. Tomorrow I'm gonna
His
be.
penis does though.
Exactly. Tomorrow I'm gonna be on 120 Diner in Toronto. It's a really good show. So if you guys, 120 Diner. It's not about you. You did your plugs already. 120 Diner in Toronto. It's a really good show. So come out, and it's gonna be a great time.
And Steve, will you?
Turn his mic back on.
All right, we.
It's got an on-off switch.
Is it that bad?
No.
Anyways, everybody, we will see you, NT. See you next Thursday.
All right.
Andrew, there's no way you're still watching.